2021, Porsche delivered more than 300,000 cars, and the top seller at almost 90,000 units was the Macan. By the way, the Taycan EV sold better than the 911, which pretty much is the Porsche. No surprise then, Porsche recently announced it wants 80% of its new cars sold by 2030 to be electric. Not electrified, electric. Also, up to 2025, about half of sales will be electrified, and the new Macan will also be electric. But for now, we can still enjoy the fast and furious Macan GTS. The current Macan lineup starts with a 2-liter 265 horsepower Macan, period. Then there's the fancier trim Macan T, but same engine, same power. The Macan S now gets a twin-turbo 2.9-liter engine instead of the old 3-liter turbo, and it now makes 380 horsepower. Almost as much as the old Macan Turbo. And the new Macan GTS with a 2.9-liter V6 twin-turbo makes 440 horsepower, as much as the old turbo with the performance package. The time from 0 to 100 km per hour is 4.5 seconds, 4.3 with chrono pack. I checked, and in Sport Plus mode with launch control I got an even better result. Probably the electric Macan will be called the Turbo or the Turbo S, and I know calling an EV Turbo is controversial, but Porsche decided it will help customers better understand the model positioning, like in the Taycan, Taycan S, Taycan Turbo, The Macan GTS comes standard with things like the pneumatic suspension, which lowers the car by 10 mm. Also, the suspension is stiffer. How is it to drive? Surprisingly easy, I would say. This is one of those weird cars which, on the one hand, is a 2-ton SUV, and on the other hand, it's made to have fun in. And today I'm on a track, so I'm able to evaluate the car's performance and, most of all, my abilities. From my point of view, the Macan GTS is easy to live with in everyday life, as it is on the track. For most of the time, you don't really feel you're driving a 400 plus horsepower SUV. In normal mode, the car is not too aggressive, the steering is precise, although a bit too light for my liking. Only when you press the accelerator harder, you realize this is not your 2-liter diesel shopping trolley. Something I really like in Porsches is the Sport Response button. That's part of the chrono pack. Instead of fumbling for the sport mode, you just press it and you get full attack mode for about 20 seconds. Just what you need to overtake. And then everything goes back to normal, although normal is a bar set very high indeed. As standard, the more powerful Macans get 6-piston front brake calipers and internally ventilated discs. Front discs are 390mm and rear discs are 356mm. This car gets the standard, in some markets at least, Porsche Surface Coated Brakes, or PSCB. These are steel discs and they're covered in tungsten carbide. This coating is very thin and very hard. It is also heat resistant, which means you should get more consistent braking for longer. PSCB is also cheaper than carbon ceramic brakes and more durable than standard steel discs. PSCB requires special brake pads, but on the plus side, they produce very little brake dust, so even if you're not a performance driver, you might appreciate the aesthetic aspect. The brakes were already dodgy when I picked the car up and recorded the test speed runs. It seems this car has been thoroughly tested before, because the brakes died after several moderately dynamic track passes. The Macan GTS weighs close to 2 tons, and there are substantial elevation changes on this track, which also eat up the brakes. Long story short, I can't tell you if PSCB are really as good as Porsche claims. The sound. The GTS gets sport exhaust as standard. In normal mode, the car is fairly inoffensive, but when you put the sport exhaust sound on, it sounds like this. The Macan has a PDK or double clutch gearbox with relatively long gearing. On the motorway at 140 km/h, the rev counter is just above 2000 revs in 7th gear. As a result, you can drive the Macan gingerly and get the claimed 10 liters per 100 km combined, or you can drive it like a lunatic and observe the 75-liter tank empty itself. The GTS has the larger 75-liter tank as standard. Speaking of gears, I'd like the gearbox to hold gears for me, at least in sport mode, which it doesn't. Also, the gears seem rather long, so I have to slow down considerably before I can downshift. See, I wanted the downshift here and nothing. But it's fun anyway. When not on a track and not on twisty roads, the Macan GTS is as comfortable as any other modern car. It's got adaptive cruise control and active lane assist. The latter will remain on or off as set by the driver, even after restarting the engine. The Porsche Macan interior has been refreshed, but for now you get the traditional instrument cluster with 2 analog dials and 1 multi-function display like in most Porsches. It still looks old school in a good way. Sat-nav was updated a few years ago, but now Porsche got rid of those Vertu phone style buttons, points if you remember Vertu phones, and replaced them with a touch panel with haptic feedback. Yes, it collects dust and fingerprints, but at least you don't see the missing options too much anyway. The Macan was never class leading in terms of storage. These days it's even worse as phones get big and barely fit under the armrest. If you want to charge the phone, you have to plug in a cable and then the phone lands in your cup holder, which is neither safe nor convenient. You'll hit taller bottles with your elbow, like so, but at least the door pockets are decent size, and so is the glove box. There is not much space in the back. Also, if you want to use your legs to lean against the front seat to better hold yourself in place during fast driving, the backs of the seats are very hard. Passengers in the rear get 2 USB ports, heated seats, AC vents, large door pockets, and cup holders in the armrest. Doors don't cover the sills. The almost 460-liter boot is actually even bigger because there's about 100 liters under the floor as well. And with the seats folded, you get about 1500 liters of space. There is 1 shopping bag hook. You can open the tailgate with the fob, but to close it you need to use one of the buttons on the tailgate. One is also for locking the car. Price of the Porsche Macan started at €64,664 for the ordinary Macan, €69,462 for the Macan T, €73,508 for the Macan S, and €90,049 for the GTS. But as this is Porsche, it's a miracle the steering wheel is not an option. Many other things are though, so this Macan GTS with options costs around €120,000. I always liked the Macan, although I realize the sensible choice, if you can utter sensible and Porsche in one sentence, is the much more expensive, bigger and heavier Cayenne. The real Porsche sports cars still exist thanks to SUVs, and in the future they may be kept alive thanks to EVs, like the soon-to-be-launched electric Macan. And how do you like the Porsche Macan? Would you go for the GTS, or maybe you don't need all that power? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.